Good evening, everyone. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome. Choose to change, guys. I know we're off for a week because of our revival. Oh no, harvesters. But welcome back, guys. So how's everybody doing this Thursday? Great, blessed. Welcome, guys, again. So my name is Rudy, and I'm a proud member of the Choose to Change mentoring program. The Choose to Change mentoring program is a self-supporting Christian-based group sponsored by the Choose to Change Foundation. There is no fee to attend this class, but we do encourage donations from our members and anyone else who believes in what we do. The only requirement for membership is a sincere desire to change your life. Who's got that desire? You're in the right place. On a Thursday, eh? Happy Thursday. Thursday. We are on a mission to restore families by inspiring, challenging, and equipping men to become better fathers, husbands, and leaders in our community. So if you are ready to change your life, then you're in the right place. Through this program, you'll learn exactly, number one, where to start your life to change journey. Number two is tools and resources to keep you going. Three, and a support system to help you reach your goals. Because we need help, to reach our goals, right? The Choose to Change mentoring program believes in three key principles of life. So, number one is that we believe in the life-changing power of God through faith in Jesus Christ. Number two, we believe that God has already done his part and that it is our responsibility to learn to do our part. And number three, success or failure is a choice, and the choice is yours. So it all depends on you. So if you're ready, say, I am. Thank you guys again for coming here tonight. And just one more thing, no kids outside, please, or teenagers. Mandatory. So before we pass it on to our brother Orlando, I got a little story that I was reading through it, and man, it felt like kind of real good, uplifting and everything. So this is the way it goes, okay, guys? An elderly lady was once asked by a young man who had grown weary in a fight whether he had to give up the struggle. How many feel like that sometimes? Right? I think that's just life. We want to throw in the white towel, want to give up. Something happens in our home and everything, or life. That's just life. I feel I must give up. And then she said, did you ever notice, she replied, smiling to the troubled face before her, that when the Lord told the discouraged fishermen to cast their nets again, it was in the same old spot where they had been fishing all night and had caught nothing. So keep on coming to this spot. You might not be seeing anything right now, but tomorrow, you never know. Maybe tonight, God has something for you tonight. Because you're coming. Don't give up, guys. And I ain't giving up. That's why we're here. Fighting. And that's what it is. We just got to keep on fighting, and we are, don't give up. So how was everybody's week? Struggle, no? Fighting.
Test.
All right. So let's give it up for our brother as he comes in and takes the pulpit, guys. Let's give him a hand.
Awesome, brother. Thank you, brother. Awesome. Everybody excited? I was thinking about just maybe, man, everybody's on this side. Is it prejudice or something? Or everybody on one side. We're going to have all this. We got to get woke. Better not say nothing. Gentlemen, welcome. I'm excited. I want to help you out today. Where are you tonight? Where are you? Do I have a thing? Oh no. Man, came up with it all by myself. Man, welcome, guys. I want to thank everybody for coming, for being here tonight. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you're watching us online, the best way you can help us, support us, is continue watching us. Like us on Facebook, like us on YouTube, and wherever else we are found. I'm not sure where else we're found, but I know we're on YouTube and Facebook. Welcome, everybody. Like Rudy said, if you're here, the number one reason why anybody walks into these rooms, the number one reason is because they want to change your life. If you want to change your life, make your life better, you're in the right place. Because this is what this is all about. Some people don't like to talk about life change. Some people don't like to talk about getting better. Some people don't want to hear it, right? But you're here. So I'm going to share with you some things that I've learned. Yeah? I was, I'm always thinking about what I'm going to share, whether I'm going to go preach in a church, whether I'm going to go speak in a school or in a juvenile. They called me today. I'm going to go speak at a juvenile center. I'm thinking, La Feria? What other La is there? La Jolla? No. La Feria. Lyford. That was it. And it's pretty exciting that they call, that they reach out to us. It's pretty exciting. I'm going to have a meeting with them on Friday here to share a little bit about what we do. Because we have answers, guys. Did you know that? We have answers. As Christians, we have answers for people. We have solutions. As a church, we have answers. We have solutions. As an organization, as a people, as the Choose to Change Foundation, we have answers to life's problems. Because there is answers. We just don't always like them. Right? But like I've always said for many, many years, if you don't take control of your own life, what's going to happen? Somebody else will. Like the police department, like the prison system, like CPS, like, can I go on? Y'all got that? But today I want to help you with what I call the GPS to life change. And I thought about that. I said, man, you know what? This is so simple. We talk about this all the time. I talk about it all the time. I'm always talking to people, watching people, people asking me, people calling me, problems, which is what I want to talk about with you to start with where are you in your life change journey? Where are you today? That's why I said, where are you? Last week, does anybody remember what we spoke about 2 weeks ago? Hijo, eso nadie se acuerda. Man, look at him. That's it. Yeah. Problem solving. Because I said there's problem solvers and then there's excuse makers. You can be either a problem solver or an excuse maker. Right? Because in life, there's really no middle of the ground when it comes to life change, when it comes to success, when it comes to overcoming in life. There's no middle of the ground. You're either in or you're out. I like the way they put it to me one time. You can't be half pregnant. I said, never thought about that. Half pregnant? You're right, you can't, right? You're either in or you're out. And we have to learn that concept. But where are you today? Just before I go off on some other tangent. Where are you today in your life change? Rudy talked about it. Struggles. We're all facing struggles, every single one of us. If you're here tonight, we're all facing struggles. If you come to church, everybody's facing struggles. No matter where you go, everybody's facing some kind of struggle. Some people are facing their Goliath, right? But for every Goliath, there's a David. That's right. And that's what Choose to Change is all about. Possibilities. Believing in the impossible. Most people that walk into these rooms, if you want to change your life, if you want a better life, you're going to have to believe in the impossible. Who's had to do that in your life? I've had to. Oh man, I've had to. So let's talk about your life change journey for a minute. Where are you? Does anybody have any problems? Does anybody face any obstacles at the moment? Let me see, what else did I have? Does anybody have any challenges? See, but there's a way to get through them. That's the good news. In fact, that's the good news of the gospel. That's why we're so important. That's why we need faith. That's why we need God. Because there's some things in life. There's a song that says, there's sooner or later, one day, sooner or later, you're going to need God's help. Whether you believe or you don't. And that's an awesome thought that God will help us. What kind of obstacles are we facing? Anybody want to throw some up? What kind of obstacles do we normally face? Let's talk about that for a minute. Anybody? Just throw some up. Financial, okay, so money. Financial. Many of us. Financial. I have to stop before. Financial. You know, that's a good one, right? Everybody, yes, sir.
Biggest one for me is self.
Self? That's a good one. Self. This is, I tell you, now that you said that, let me just give you the key. That is the key, brother. To all your problems, I'm going to talk about that today. You. Because if you want, I told a guy today, and I hope you're watching. If you're watching, Mrs. Lopez, glad you're here. You know, he's going through some problems. He's going through some issues. I hope he doesn't mind me saying, mention it. No, you all don't know him, so. But, you know, I told him, you know what, brother, can I be honest with you? Because sometimes people can't handle the truth. If you want your life to change, if you want things in your life to change, guess what has to happen? What needs to change? You. So then you hit it right on the money. I learned that a long time ago, bro, in prison. And I would think to myself, what do you mean me? I'm in prison. I didn't get it. We're going to get there in a minute. So we have, you know, money problems, self problems, right? What else? Marriage. I don't know how to spell it, but I spelled it wrong over there. Family, did you say? Family. Okay. So the idea that we face challenges, right, in life. If somebody wants to write it online, if they're watching and they want to write something there, you know, how about these? Drugs? What's that? Help? Health? Okay, let's put that one up here. Health.
Education.
Lack of or what?
Needing.
Drugs. Depression, wow. Lazy. Oye, ya están así, ya están. Laziness. Starting to remember, okay, let me think about what is my problem. So we can come up with a bunch of them, right? They're there. We all have issues. So let me continue with this. Life is hard. Life is hard. I had to make this one a shirt. But life is hard for who? For everyone. Not just you, Mark, right? Not just me. Not just Chavarria. For everyone. And once you get that idea in your mind, you start changing your attitude and you start facing the giant in your life. But let's talk about life change. Changing your life. Let me remind you of a few of you about the things about a few things when it comes to life change. Today, I just wanted to remind you about a few things when it comes to life change. As soon as you decide to change your life, the battle begins. Am I right or wrong? As soon as you decide that you want to change your life, the battle begins. It's like a garden, right? Who's ever planted a garden? Whose garden has died before? As soon as you plant a garden, the battle to keep it up begins. The weeds start coming up, right? Always. Especially right now that it's raining. Right, son? They just keep growing and growing and growing, and got to get that lawnmower out there. So you have to start working at it, right? As soon as you decide that you want to change your life, make your life better, the battle begins. It's like a war. In fact, it is a war. And if you're going to win the battle, if you're going to win this war, you're going to have to battle against the enemy. Right? The Bible puts it like this. Jesus was speaking to the people one day, and he was telling them, Jesus was always teaching something, right? But then he gave them the good and the bad news. He said, listen, in me, you will have peace. And that's why we need God. He says, but in the world, you will have tribulations. He's telling them. That's what it's in John 16:33, in case you didn't know. John 16:33. Jesus tells everybody, listen, it's, I'm here. I'm going to save you. I'm going to help you. I'm going to bless you. But in the world, you're going to have tribulations. That's just how it is. But then he goes on to say, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. That's the hope that we have. In the society we live in today, man, it is going insane. If you listen to the news at all, it's crazy, and it's going to get crazier. But anyway, we have hope in God. But yeah, as soon as you decide that you're going to change your life, you want to make your life better, the battle begins. And this is where all these obstacles and problems that we're talking about come in. These are the enemies of your life change. So now you know, right? So when you start feeling lazy, you look at it as an enemy. When you start feeling depressed, you look at it as an enemy. It's not you. It's not for you. It's not made for you. Well, it is made for you by the devil. But it's your enemy. Drugs and alcohol, the enemy. Family problems, not family. Family problems. Some of our family is the enemy, right? You have to cut them off. So there's an enemy that we have to always constantly be battling. And that's just how it is. So where are these enemies? Let's talk about these enemies of life. Remember, we're talking about life change, your life change journey. Everybody's on a journey, right? Would you agree to that? You're on a journey. And if you didn't know that, you're on a journey. You're going to born, and then you're going to die. And in between, that's called a journey of life. Simple stuff, right? Now, how you live that life is really up to you. But you have an enemy. So let's talk about this enemy a little bit. Some of the enemies are on the outside. Let's talk about the enemies that are on the outside. Enemies. Some of these we just spoke about. We have so-called friends that could be enemies, right? So we have to deal with them. We have to battle with them. It's a lot of people that struggle with drugs and alcohol, and they're trying to get sober, right? You're trying to stay sober. And in the if you go to any kind of rehab or any kind of program, one of the first things they're going to teach you is about places, things. There's three. Anybody know those?
Places and things.
What's that?
Person, places, and things.
Persons, places, and things. In other words, you're going to have to watch who you hang around with, where you go, places, and things you mess with. You have to battle against drug addiction. And if you're battling against drug addiction, alcoholism right now, you have to fight. I used to think that, I remember the first time I went to treatment. If anybody ever tried to go to treatment, anybody go to treatment ever? Treatment center? I remember the first time I went, I had no idea. And most people have no idea how this works. This is why many people, when they come in here for the first time and they're trying to get sober and they've never been to treatment, they've never been to church, they've never been anywhere, you come in here and you have no idea what to expect, and then you hear me just speaking and talking about, here's what I really thought. I went to treatment, and I thought, treatment, hospital, So in my mind, I said, you know what, they're going to put me in a hospital room, they're going to put a little white gown on me, they're going to take my temperature, maybe draw some blood, everybody's going to treat me real nice, and then the doctor's going to tell me, okay, here's your problem, here's your pill, you can go home. That's what I thought. Maybe I was just, ignorant. Well, I was ignorant. But that's what I thought. But then they started telling me, well, you have to go to meetings. And I got to listen to you. And then I got to do this. And then tell me about me, about what I have to do, about my problems. I said, wait a minute. See, I never thought that it was me. This is why earlier I started with, if you want to change your life, if you want to make your life better, if you want your life to change, what do you think that has to change? Me. That's what I learned. And then I found out, this is when I first started, like 30 years ago. And then as I moved forward, as I continued searching for answers, they always wound up to the same thing that I'm teaching here. You. And this is what Choose the Change is all about. The battles that we face. It's not, the enemy is the problem, but how you deal with it is the answer, is the solution. This is why this process is so important. This is why the mindset is so important. This is why the faith is so important. This is why I teach all this stuff. Because all this has to do with you. Relationships, bad relationships. You have to battle these enemies on the outside. Drugs and alcohol, pornography, a huge one. It's a major one. It's on the outside. All these enemies we fight against. These enemies on the outside. But let me talk about enemies that I believe are even worse. The enemies on the inside. Oh, that's the last one. You got me. Voices in your head. But let me tell you about a few. Does anybody have any questions thus far? Because actually it's going to be pretty short here. I want you to be able to ask any questions that you may have. Anybody? We're talking about life change and where you are in your life change journey. I want to talk to you about the GPS to life change. Let me talk about, secondly, about the battles or the enemies on the inside. The Bible teaches us, and not only the Bible, but so many books that I've read, people that I've counseled with, people that have counseled me, preachers, counselors, they've all agreed and tell us this. The Bible says that we do not fight against flesh and blood. In other words, what it's trying to tell us is that's not your main battle. This is your enemy, but your main battle is not flesh and blood. He says, but we fight against powers and principalities and spiritual wickedness in high places. Where is that? Anybody want to guess? Man, you're learning, bro. This is why you're twisted. This is why your mind is, right? Those are the enemies on the inside. And that's what destroys us, I believe. These enemies on the inside are even more lethal than the enemies on the outside. We call, another scripture says, we fight not against flesh and blood, but against powers, principalities. Another scripture says, for the weapons of our warfare, right, are not physical, but they're mighty through God to the pulling down of, anybody? Strongholds. In other words, thoughts and imagination, everything that you have in your mind. This is why God is so important. Some people try to take care of these things with medication. Some people try to take care of these things with drugs and alcohol. Some people try to ignore. But God has the answer. Jesus Christ can set you free. And the way it works is that God is going to help you fight through these battles in your mind, right? Because they don't go away easily. How many know that? You up at night. They'll put you in a corner and beat you down right there in the corner by yourself. Until you confess and say, I give up. Right? Or is it just me that's battled that before? Where you just want to give up. The enemies of the mind, we can call these. That's the inside. Let me give you just a list of internal enemies. Fear. Number one, you're afraid of what could be, what could happen, what was, what's coming, what is. Fear. Fear of what they'll say. Fear is what you think will happen. Fear. Did you know that fear is the number one thing that stops most people from anything in life? I didn't know that. I still have struggle understanding that. I'm starting barely to understand a little bit more about that. Fear. Doubt. That's a monster, right? Well, I just don't believe. And you're stuck. I just don't believe that. Okay? You realize, think about this. When you read your Bible, when you hear scripture, when you hear preaching, Jesus puts it very simple. He says, if, right? Somebody once told me, well, I don't believe that. I said, well, you don't have to. You don't have to. But if you believe, see, it's a choice, right? Choose to change. It's a choice. It's a choice. You don't have to believe, but if you believe, Jesus said, all things are possible. Isn't that what he said? This is what I'm talking about. God, doubt will destroy you. And it's a good excuse too, right? I don't believe that. I don't believe them people, them crazy Christians, right? I can do it on my own. I don't need that church. Crazy pastor. All those guys in suits, who does think they are? Whoever thought that when you first came in? I did. Estos guys todos con traje, cálmate. Right? See, but because we're trying to change. I like wearing a suit. You know, I like wearing a suit. I used to have to be forced to wear a jumpsuit. Huh? Yeah. An orange or a white one. A white one, you know. A pink one. There you go. But see, you battle your doubts, and they're going to destroy you. I can tell you right now, if you continue in your doubt and your fear, they're going to destroy you. Let me give you some more. Anger. hatred. The enemies of the inside. You don't need nobody. You don't need nobody's help. You'll destroy yourself, right? And I remember, I knew that. I didn't need nobody's help. I'll destroy myself. But why? Because I had the enemy of the mind that I didn't give up. There's another one, right? I couldn't care less. The enemy of your soul. And that's what we see in our society today. Unforgiveness. And then the famous voices in your head. The enemy talks to you and says, you're no good. You're not good enough. You're too ugly. You're too fat. You're too short. Nobody cares about you. God doesn't love you. Has anybody heard those voices before? The enemy. Your father doesn't love you. Your sister doesn't love you. You can't change? Who do you think you are, you loser? Who's heard that? I have. And it's the enemy trying to destroy you, the enemy within. So, y'all got that? Doubt will paralyze you. Lack of faith. But the good news, let's close with good news, is that it's possible, right? It's so simple. But this is why I teach what I teach. And I've been teaching this for years. I boiled it down to seven very simple principles. Because if somebody would have taught me this, I might have, because I'm a very simple guy. I like steps, like A, B, C. I don't like too complicated. I didn't understand it. Just tell me what to do, and I'll do it. And this is what I've designed. First, you gotta want it. I can't stop you. Some people that from here over here that they wouldn't care less about their lives. They don't care. They're full of doubt. They're full of hate. They don't want to change. They're on this side, right? I can't help them. That's why I draw this line. All the people over here that don't want to change, that don't care, that could care less, that they're going to keep drinking and drugging. They're going to just do whatever they want to do. They're going to womanize. They're going to pornography. They're going to do whatever they want to do. And they're all on this. And they haven't gotten here to a desire to change your life. So if you're here tonight and you have a deep-rooted desire to change your life, listen, you need to give God thanks for that. Because very few people get there, right? Very few, and not everybody gets there. I don't know why. I don't know why. I stopped trying to figure it out. But if you're here and you're ready, I can help you, because once you got that, then I can tell you how to go from there. The next step is you need some faith. Give your life to Jesus. Well, I don't believe that. Well, just trust me. Just trust me for 90 days. Once you do that, let's start working on your mind. Let's change that wicked, twisted mind of yours. Why is that important? Because that'll change your attitude. Why is that important? Because that'll change your habits. And why is that important? That'll change your lifestyle. And why is that important? Because your lifestyle takes you to your destiny. It's a GPS for life change. So let's close with that. Let me give you a little more hope. If I can change my life, you can change. If I can come to church, you can come to church. If I can read the books, you can read the books. If I can grow, you can grow. If I can develop, you can develop. We're all born ignorant, naked, and scared. And then you grow from there. So let's close with the GPS formula for life change and success. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody? What time is it? Man, We're doing good time. Is anybody learning anything? Raise your hand. Yes. Should take a picture of that to make sure. That's the hardest thing about being a speaker and a preacher. You know, you judge the audience. You know, you don't know what they're thinking. You're like, man, este vato que onda, you know. Don't know. But I'm glad I'm helping you. So I thought about this GPS. I just came up with it this week. I said, wow, that's so profound. You know, in business, there's this thing called business plan. Has anybody ever heard that? Business plan. In college, when people go to college, they do like something called like a career plan. You know, all the classes you're going to take and this plan. When we go somewhere, when we travel, we make what? Travel plans. When we build a house, we have blueprints, we have plans. Think about this for a minute. Have you ever thought or even considered that you can plan your own life? The first time I heard that, it blew me away. I just thought life happened. And that's how most of us lived our life. You just let life happen to you. Que sera, sera. Right? And that's why you would sit back and you would just take whatever comes and you'd blame it. It's like the blowing of the wind. Right? It's the wind. It's the car. It's the marriage. It's the family. It's the drugs. It's the alcohol. No, it's my depression. No, it's my laziness. No, it's I don't have no money. And the list goes on and on and on. Right? But have you ever thought that you can make a plan for your own life? God offers us a plan. In fact, the Bible teaches us that God has a plan for us. See, everything I'm teaching, I've learned in the last 24 years, actually more than that. Because I'm looking for answers and solutions to life, success, and overcoming. I found some. So when you're going somewhere, when you're traveling, maybe like when we're going to find a restaurant or we're going to a certain location or we're going to go travel, what are the first things we do? We're looking for something. What do? Come on, you know. You Google. Can't live without this thing. That's why it's so dangerous. You Google. And once you get it, what do? Bam. Siri, take me. Boom. Y ahí te lleva. Right? But what if you had that for your life? Ain't that be awesome? What we do. You can plan your own life. You can make things happen. This is what we do in our church. In our church, we're dedicated to preaching the gospel, planting churches, and evangelizing. That's the plan. That's what we do. And then if men want to do something for God, they start making the plans. They start with being discipleship, and they start this process. Right? This is how it works. You want to build a business, works the same way. But your life, I want to help you with the quote that sparked this teaching. That really, I said, man, this is pretty cool. I posted it, or should I say, I have a text of about 10 or 12 men that text in the morning. Some text right at 4 o'clock in the morning. The world? Good morning. I'm like, what? And I posted this. Listen closely. Here's your GPS plan for life change and success. A dream written down becomes a goal. A goal broken down into steps becomes a plan. A plan backed up by consistent, focused action becomes reality. Oh, man, when I read that, I said, boom. I said, I want that. I'm already doing it, but I want it again. Does everything turn out perfect? Does everything turn out the way you planned? No, but you keep on doing it, right? Because your GPS is not as good as the one with Google has, but it's still a GPS. So let me just break down this quote for you. Real simple. It really boils down to goal setting. And his word starts with a desire. I want to stay. What do you want? That's the goal. What do you want? Where are you going? How much weight do you want to lose? What do you need to get rid of? What do you want to do in life? This is how this stuff works. So let me read you the quote one more time, and then I'm going to break it down, and we'll close. A dream written down becomes a goal. A goal broken down into steps becomes a plan. A plan backed by consistent, focused action becomes reality. I know this works. Most of you know where I come from. I learned this in prison. In prison. I read it. That's why when I read that quote, I said, whoa, man, I hadn't heard that in years, put that way. And it doesn't matter if you're deep in your addiction, if you're watching me online. It doesn't matter if you messed up yesterday. It doesn't matter if you're struggling. If you, today, right? Today is a new day. And I used to wake up every morning in prison. I'd say, today is the day that the Lord has made, and I'm going to rejoice in it whether you like it or not. I was a happy camper in prison. People didn't like that. I was happy because I had a GPS. I had a plan. I've been doing this, I'm telling you, for 24 years. I didn't get here just because. I'm telling you, every single day, consistent, focused action. I'm going to the top. So let me break it down for you. Really simple. This is really simple. Check this out. The formula is this: the dream, the plan, the consistent, focused action. The dream, the plan, the consistent, focused action. This is how you can do it. So number one, the dream. What do you want? Let me give you an example. Let's just really simple. You can do this starting today. Let's say the goal is, I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. Just want to lose weight. Just want to lose weight. Okay, that's the dream. That's the goal. Write it down. Boom. I'm at 250. I want to go down to 230. I don't want to do that, but it's a goal. You got to want it. Remember, you got to want it. That's the dream. That's the goal. Number two, the plan. This is real. Check this out. This is how I started. This is how I started my exercise program, which is not very good, but I still have one. Remember, it's the dream written down becomes the goal. The goal, what? Broken down. Okay, here's the broken down. Here's the broken down plan for losing weight. Every day, every morning, I'm going to walk for 5 minutes. I'm going to change from Coke to Diet Coke. That's it. That's it. Who can do that? Who can do that? Anybody can. Phase 2. Once you do that for a week or 2 or 3 or a month, then you walk 5 minutes, you change from Coke to Diet Coke, then you shift it into gear to phase 2. No creamer in your coffee. ¿Eh? ¿Ahí la llevas? You start walking for 15 minutes. You drink a shake for breakfast instead of a cute taco. That's it. That's it. And then number 3, consistent, focus, action. This is how I learned. This is how I started walking. This is how I started exercising. This is how I started. I'm serious, dead serious. I remember I was drinking shakes, Herbalife shakes, and I remember trying to get a guy to lose weight, and he says, man, he come a week later, he said, man, I can't get rid of my cute taco. Pobrecito. But he did. Why? Because he was focused, consistent, action. Isn't that powerful? Think about that, guys. And then we just take this little formula and just put it into different areas of your life. Your drug addiction, your personal issues, your marriage, your future, a better job, your education. Isn't that powerful? Or is it just me? That's powerful stuff. You can set your own GPS. Where are you in your life change journey? Set your GPS. Amen. All right. That was good. I think I'll do it again. No. Guys, anybody have any questions? I'm going to pass around the donation bucket. I stole $3, so I'm going to give them back. So, we raise money little by little as we move forward, as we continue to fight. You know why we do what we do? Because, 1, I want to help people change their life, but 2, I've come to believe, in fact, I know for a fact, that we live in a fatherless generation. We desperately need fathers in our society today. Fathers. Fatherhood examples. And I want to teach men to be better men. Because if I can teach you to be a better man, a better person, then you'll automatically start becoming a better father, a better husband, and a better leader. We have an epidemic in our society today. This is my passion. This is what I do to help us become better men. There's no perfect formula. With our kids, we just got to do the best we can. But if you don't consistently work on this stuff, then you're never going to move forward. You're never going to see breakthrough. You have to consistently move forward. Consistently make plans. Consistently readjust. Consistently. And I'll close with this. I just thought about it. I learned this in a business seminar. And I teach this, it's a sermon I do in revivals when I go to churches. I call the 3 keys to greatness. The 3 keys to greatness. I remember when I heard that for the first time, I said, yeah, I want to know what those 3 keys are. And when I learned them, I said, wow, you're talking about this multimillionaire that teaches CEOs and other multimillionaires. He was doing this seminar, and he was teaching about the 3 keys to greatness. And I said, man, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. I mean, this guy's a millionaire. He's teaching other millionaires. It's going to be good. And here's what he taught. He says, number 1, let me see if I remember him by heart. Hijo, si no quedó mal. And lo voy a quedar mal. Number one, I have to write them down. Strategies. I know them. Bear with me. And when I heard them, I said, wow. The last two are the associations and the strategy, systems, and processes. Who remembers the first one? Does anybody? I've been teaching this for years. Nobody remembers the first one? Huh? There, thank you, babe. Man, she's been the longest and choose the change, so she remembered. Coaches, mentors, and trainers. Coaches, mentors, and trainers? That's close enough. Coaches, mentors. So the three keys were everybody needs a coaches, mentors, and trainers. Everybody. And I said, what? What do you mean coaches, mentors? I thought he was going to give me something profound, something like, that is profound. You need somebody to help you. You need somebody to guide you. You need somebody to lead you. Our pastor. Friends, books, motivational speaker, a counselor at school. Every single person, this is why you're here. I'm a mentor, right? So number one, it was mentor, coaches, and trainer. Number two was associations. And he really drilled on this one. He's talking about you want to succeed. The three keys to greatness. Association, who you hang around with. That's why I'm real careful. I'm always watching who you hang around with. All you got to do is just watch. Because 95% of who you are, who you will become, 95% will be affected by who you associate with. And number three, I really like this one because I was teaching this, that we all need, and things will change in our strategy, in our processes, and our systems. So you're always going to be adjusting and planning. I had a 20-year plan. I walked out of prison with a 20-year plan. I haven't met not even half of it, not even a quarter of it. Hey, but I had a plan. And in a year and a half, it'll mark 20 years. And I look back in that little book and I'm like, wow, man, I accomplished at least this one. Your GPS for life change is in your hands. That's all I have today. God bless. Thank you for watching, guys. We'll see you next week.